So, I've gotten a little bit of practice on the video editing with the shorts, the 2 whole shorts that I made. So it's time for a full-length video, obviously. That's the natural progression of things. What are we doing today? We're doing chest on the cut. This is totally Sam Sulek right now, except not jacked. I still lift as heavy as possible on the cut. I don't try to progress. I just try to get a couple of sets of, whatever I can do on all my lifts. I like picking up heavy circles, so I'm going to keep doing it. All right, so let's get this chest day kicked off with a little bench. Warming up with the bar here. I believe in doing a bar warm-up versus any weighted warm-up just because it's pretty much zero tension, zero stress. You can really focus on the movement itself, get the form down, get your tempo down that you want to try to work with, and just stretch everything out before you put weight on it, because any chance you can to avoid injury, you should definitely do it. Real warm-up, though, 135, going for 10 here. Just trying to move the weight, keep the explosive nature. It felt, as light as any warm-up should feel. Felt good, like I could have busted out 30 if I really wanted to. But watching it secondhand, I'm not moving as fast as I normally can. So maybe that was a sign for what is to be seen later. That's 135, though. Going up to 185 right afterwards. I do, semi-decent jumps, I guess, in weight. This we're going for 5, just to move a little bit more weight, but I'm still not trying to do a bunch of reps and burn myself out. I'm also not, trying to do 2 reps either. So this is good middle ground, 5 reps, 185. And this definitely felt heavier than it normally does. Kind of sad to say that how much strength you really lose on a cut, but, it's to be expected. But still moved it, got the 5, going to 225. We're only going for 3 with this one because this is getting a bit heavier, and I'd really want to save as much energy as I can for my top sets. But we went for 3 here. Once I've put this on, though, I pretty much immediately felt that 245, which is my normal working weight, was going to be a challenge. But here's 225. We get it, all right. Ready for this? Absolute champion. It took me so long to get 225 that I still get caught up on how good it feels to actually be able to move it. Here's the 10s. We're going to 245. Ready for this? And ding. And slide that thing on. I also put clips on. I normally don't bench with clips, but seeing it where my energy's at, my stability is just a little bit off. I didn't want to risk it and dump plates on the side, so moved that. Took the sweatshirt off too. I don't know if you need this commentary, but it was pretty hot in there, and these pants that I'm wearing don't breathe even a little bit. So, yeah, we just took them off. But now we're going into 245 first set. I am trying to get just as many as I can without, going to failure. But I was expecting to get it somewhere around 4 or 5. But as soon as I got it off the rack, I felt that is heavy. So I'm pretty sure I get it for 3. Let's see, 2. Pretty sure I get a third one. Come on, get a third one. Yeah. 3. But that was a grind for that third. The butt almost lifted up there. And I was not ready for how heavy that was going to feel. It definitely felt heavier today than it did previously. Second set, hoping for 3 again. Will we get it? Let's find out. And also, I like to do that picking my shoulder blades up. It allows me to retract them into a better position. So I do recommend it if you have issues with your shoulder positioning. Second set felt heavier than the first. First rep obviously was a struggle. You get that too. And then we're going for the third. Almost getting stuck, but we grind through it. That right there, that was a limit. There's no way I was going to get 4. There's no way I was going to get 4 in any other set. But that really just shows, shit's heavy. Then we dropped the weight. I went back then to 225. Normally I don't actually drop weight. I just do a couple more sets of 1 or 2. But since next week I'm definitely going to be doing 225 for my working sets, I thought I might as well just feel a set out to finish off. But even 225 after the 245 felt hard. Felt harder than when I was doing it for a warm-up, which is kind of interesting because we're going down in weight. But still got it. 2, 3, and we go for that fourth. Also felt really heavy. But a little shoulder flex for you. Bam. Incline next. I pretty much only do incline dumbbell. Incline barbell just seems to hurt my shoulders. I don't know if it's my positioning or if it's just the way that I'm built, but dumbbells feel great. I feel a good contraction in my upper chest especially, which I feel like is hard to kind of isolate. And I have kind of an underdeveloped upper pec, so this is nice. The benches that I have, though, are a little unfortunate. The settings are, the way they're set is the top one, or where I want it, there's a setting a little bit above it and a little bit below it. So it's never quite perfect on any of these, which is kind of unfortunate, but whatever. First set, I think we get 6 there. Second set, I'm trying to get 6 for these. I don't go quite as heavy as I do with a flat bench, but I also am doing more sets and more reps with these just because I have an underdeveloped chest or upper pec. So I'm trying to catch up a little bit. And I'm not building anything right now, but just still to isolate it and focus on it is it's feeling good. Plus just a good movement to do. You can watch yourself and you feel like an absolute unit, which is always good. All right, so this is the third set. I do 4 sets of these. I usually only do 3 sets of like my working weight on bench, but I do 4 of these just to really emphasize the destruction of the upper chest. You will notice that I'm a little bit offset. I dislocated my shoulder a few years ago and it never healed right. And so one shoulder is just higher than the other one. And it's like that with everything. It doesn't hurt anymore. It doesn't give me any issues, but it just, somewhat imbalances me. You'll see it on this a little bit more too. If you look at the shoulder on the right side there, hangs a little bit lower. And I don't know if there's anything I can do about it. I'm probably not going to do anything about it just because it doesn't hurt. It doesn't affect anything. So a little bit of water. We're doing flies. Now, this is the only movement that I do that isn't about weight. I'm not trying to maintain strength or build strength or anything. This is just for the good stretch and the good squeeze. I mostly train for strength. That's the thing that I like the most. But everybody likes a little power building combo in there, and you don't really get the same stretch and squeeze with your heavy compounds. So I throw these in there, and I just try to get, I'm pretty tired. I was a little too heavy, but I try to get anywhere from 10 to 20 reps, and I just try to control it, squeeze it at the top, and then really struggle it out to pretty close to failure on all of these. I only do a few sets of that, so I didn't even record all of them. They all look the same. But then for triceps, this is my favorite tricep cable movement. Tricep pushdowns with the flat bar. I don't know why. They hit everything better than ropes. They hit better than the single arm pushdowns. And yeah, I just get a good pump and a good squeeze and good literally everything with these. What I would replace them with is straight bar skull crushers. The thing with skull crushers I don't like as much is I don't feel the first couple of reps. It doesn't, no matter how heavy I go or whatever, if I can do it, it doesn't give me any kind of burn. This, I feel it right away. But the one benefit to these in skull crushers with skull crushers, the last few reps are always killer, much more than on this. So they're pretty interchangeable, but for now I've been liking these. And this is all I'm doing for triceps today. I typically do some single arm cable tricep kickbacks because that is one hell of a pinch. I highly recommend it. But today I was just tired and just wanted to push some stuff and then do my abs and get out of there. Trying to maintain energy as best as I can. And next up is abs. We are doing abs 3 days a week right now because I should have been doing it for 5 years, but haven't. But we're trying to get abs, so, might as well use them. I pretty much do the same thing every day. I do sit-ups, which I'll do either just body weight or weighted. This time I did like a couple sets of weighted, just with like a 15 before this. And then I just got into this right afterwards. I didn't record the weighted, but yeah, so I'm just doing crunches. I do sit-ups kind of weird. My feet come out pretty far, and I don't let my shoulders flatten out on the ground. There is a reason for that, though. I am mostly trying to develop my lower abs. My upper abs are what almost seems to be somewhat overdeveloped in comparison. And so I try to specify those. And when my feet are forward a little further and I keep my shoulders just a little bit up when I lay down, the lower abdominal area is a bit more lit up than the upper abs. Now, if you're doing crunches, you're using your whole abs, but this way at least kind of helps. Same with this. I don't do both legs at the same time, and you can't really see it, but I have the other leg isn't on the ground. It's just stuck straight out. And with it being stuck straight out, one leg and the other leg doing, you'll see it more in this video, but with one leg being stuck out, one leg doing the crunching motion, you're getting the best of both worlds. And personally, it's my favorite ab exercise. I also do like crunches. The Russian twists, honestly, I'm only really doing because, I don't know, they feel like it. This is just a set of sit-ups, I think. I wasn't really doing much, but here's a set. I don't know why I put my fingers up. I think I meant to count this as set 1, then set 2, and set 3. But I already did a couple sets beforehand, so I don't know. My brain's tired at this point, but so yeah, the Russian twists, honestly, I'm only really doing these just because I don't really train obliques at all, and so I was just like, I might as well do something. I don't really care about them that much or feel them all that great, but I'm doing a little leg twisty thing. Here you'll see what I'm talking about. So support myself a little bit with my hands, and then I keep one leg out and crunch the other leg. And I'm telling you, you can't super isolate abs very well, but if you do this, it feels great on the lower abs. Well, it feels horrible, but it's a good kind of horrible. I also have to lay down in my own despair after every set because this is the first time that I've really trained abs frequently enough to be in pain, and man, is it brutal. I'm not used to it, but still doing it because it's necessary. But yeah, same thing. I do this, typically only do 3 sets of this. I guess today I was just kind of floating around in my head, but 3 of this, and then I end with a plank. I did skip the plank today because I didn't feel like it, but yeah, so just busting them out, trying to just burn through it. These sets take maybe, I don't know, a total of 30 seconds, which I feel like time under tension is the most valuable part with training abs versus doing like weighted stuff. But yeah, so set number 2, and then we'll catch you on set number 3. It's the signal for the 3rd set, even though it's like the 4.5 set. Don't really know, but final one. Usually by this point, I barely doing very many because I still got a lot of work to do in building these bad boys up. But still going to as close to burning failure as I can, while still getting a good amount of each exercise in. These have these little dangly grip things. There's right above me is like a pull-up bar, but instead of a pull-up bar, it's just like a little rock wall with finger holds, and they just dangle these grip strength trainers, which I've never actually used. Do those work? I don't know if anyone has watched this far. If you have, thanks for watching. And if you also have and you've used those, do they actually work? Because I got weak hands, and I always have, and I've never used them. But anyways, that's it for that. That was chest day on a cut. The thing that sucks about lifting when you're on a cut is you lose strength. You do. You lose a lot, especially if you cut pretty hard like I do, or like I am. You definitely lose strength. I used to be able to do 275. Used to be able to do 275 for 3, and now I barely got 245, and I think today is the last chest day that I'm actually going to be able to use 245. I like to lift as heavy as possible. My thinking is, you know, even though I'm in a strict caloric deficit, I'm doing a lot of cardio. If I keep my body under as much heavy stress as possible, it should, at least the way I think about it, is it wants to retain what it needs, and if it needs the muscle to move more weight, even in a caloric deficit, it's going to try to burn fat more. Who knows? That's definitely just like some dude brain bro science, but you know, whatever. Now it's time for cardio. I haven't actually measured how far this is, but it should be around 6 miles. It usually takes me about an hour because I walk a lot of it now because I'm very low on everything. But yeah, we're gonna fucking do it. We're gonna do some running, and it's gonna suck. It always does. Abs are made in the kitchen, and that's true, but you also got to do your cardio. Oh, that shakiness is gonna be fun to watch. You gotta do your cardio, and you want to make it hard enough where you're breathing. People say it should be a talking pace. Screw that. People say you should do cardio at a talking easily. You know, you should be able to talk while you do cardio. Now, you should be able to say like 5 sentences and be out of breath, because it should be hard enough for you straining yourself. Otherwise, just sit on the bike and do like no resistance. Right here, it's only like a half mile mark, but it's this hill. It kills me every time. So if you're worried about cardio because you don't think you can do it enough for it to be worth it, which I don't think is anyone's concern, but if it is, even though sometimes you gotta walk or you walk the whole time, as long as you get back to pushing what you can do, you're golden. And all we're trying to do is make progress and gains, or negative gains, whatever your goals are. You know, fellas, when you're in the kitchen and it's late at night and you're making up a little snacky snack, and you're just thinking how you'd stop 5 guys from breaking into a house and stealing your chicken. If you're running and you're having trouble with the energy part of it, dude, just do the same thing. It'll bump up your adrenaline. You'd be good to go for another mile. No one's taking my chicken. No one's taking my chicken. This has definitely been my weakest run so far. I hit 190 today, so I'm down 14 pounds total in 6 weeks and 4 days. So it's really good, actually. But I'm definitely going hard, which means I'm also dying hard. But you know, it's part of it. It's how you grow. You get weaker, and then you get stronger. Goggins. When cardio is getting harder and harder, I promise you, you always have one last push. And I recommend that pick a distance, whatever it is, or a time that's like, that's gonna be the last stitch, and just go all out for it. Really finish it off strong, and I think you'll reap some benefit, and you'll feel better too, just pushing really hard when you're exhausted. Oh, keep the sweat rings. So, final push, go as hard as you can. That's what I do. Hey, if you made it this far, thank you. You're an absolute champion, and you deserve yourself a low-cal cookie. I'll see you next time, all right?